here at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium. Tonight we've got the crew set for what should be a real treat, a great Monday night matchup, as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now a run. Here's the rookie from USC. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. They'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Stroud going to give to Marks. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. 1 yard and now no yards. Have him looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. And Stroud now to throw. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. They'll get 8, but they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive because that's not enough.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. On the return, Austin. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Looking to put a drive together. Throwing now is Rodgers. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. The defensive end, Darnell Hunter, drops him. Well, the very first thing they told us, Charles, was we need to apply pressure early, and I would call that early pressure a nice sack to start the game.
And on the other sideline, I just have this image in my mind of the head coach on the headset with the offensive coordinator asking him if that's exactly what he saw in his mind when he called that play. And if so, is it going to be like this all day? That's a tough one right there.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
On 4th down, the Steelers called on Corliss Waitman to punt. Jalen Knoll deep for Houston. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Texans will take over. So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Out of the gun, it's Marks. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense. I think in the future, if you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Quick slant caught by Kirk. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Stroud looking to throw. That's complete. Woody marks. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their 2nd offensive possession. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Only able to gain a couple there. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Austin is there and brings in another one. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Well, if you like the matchup and that connection works to start the drive, no reason to go away from it. Let that defense prove that they can stop you. And here, it's 2 throws and 2 first downs.
First carry for Kenneth Gainwell. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
It's now 3rd down.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. Rodgers with a keeper. And he will have a Steelers first down, at least at first glance, as they'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
On 1st and 10, it's Gainwell. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Setting up the screen with Gainwell. And he gets takes this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively, and the key to any screenplay is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackle him for just a short gain.
So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. To throw is Rodgers. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A defensive breakdown allows a pickup of 16 on 4th down. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Warren. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes the score 7-0.
Texans nothing.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. The football going back over now to the Houston Texans. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
2nd and 6. From out of the gun, here's Marks. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud. He'll let this go deep for Collins. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt.
For the Texans.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 30 yards.
Well, he looked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He is such a handful defensively, just too hard to keep him under wraps, and delivers a big play here for this offense.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another first down, this time on a gain of 19. So they go pass, now they go run, and 2 plays resulting in really nice pickups.
Certainly sounds like a 50-50 deal, doesn't it? Sounds like great balance. Well, you know what all those coaches have told us over the years, Brandon, that balance is? It means doing what you want to when you want to. That play call is working very well for them right now.
Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. Azeez Al-Shaair in to make the stop.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
From the gun, here's a run by Gainwell. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Now Rodgers. And this one is incomplete.
Okay, let's decide here. He was open, right? Not extraordinarily open, but open enough that if you're an NFL quarterback, you got to make that throw, right? That's got to be completed.
9 times out of 10, that's a completed pass.
Yeah, he missed that one and missed it in a big way.
A field goal, a 47-yard attempt.
Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
Chris Boswell.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Texans getting set here to take over again on offense. Nothing for him yet from an offensive standpoint. Down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. On the ground, it's Marks to start the drive. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Nice effort defensively there from Cole Holcomb.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Now Stroud. He finds his target. It's Schultz. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him.
Well, they get to Stroud, nowhere to go, and he goes down. Patrick Queen got in there to stick him. He gets the sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Here's Tommy Townsend now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Here's Austin. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it? Touchdowns.
36-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 19 yards that time for number 19.
Steelers, first down. First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Running a jet sweep. This is Austin. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
2nd and 9 from the 44. Working from the gun. Rodgers. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. That is caught. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 17-yard line. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
On play action, now Rodgers. And in for the Steelers touchdown. DK Metcalf from 17 yards out. And the Steelers add 6 to their lead.
The catch and the touchdown, they were the end result of a terrific route run by the receiver.
Extra point now by Boswell. He's got it, and it's 17-0.
Makes the score Steelers 17, Texans nothing.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Heading out as the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy. As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
They run straight ahead with Marks. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Here's Stroud. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Marks now on 1st and 10. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Play action. Here's Stroud. To the sideline and incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Now a 2nd and 10. Up the middle, it's Marks. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Stroud out of the gun here. Throw left side complete. That's Higgins. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 21. The third down conversion successful. A gain of 11.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Stroud. This one left side caught by Collins. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 15-yard line.
2nd down and 4. The handoff, it's Marks. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
Well, when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, 1st round went to the offense, 2nd round the defense. Throwing now is Stroud. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. From the left hash, a 31-yard attempt. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. Now that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
Fairbairn now, following the made field goal, he'll send this one away. Fighting his way through contact. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they've sequenced things, how it's run. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach halftime. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
That is incomplete.
Well, that was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Rodgers to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
4th down, Corliss Waitman now on to punt. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 44-yard line.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Stroud to throw it. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
On the handoff, Marks. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
No gain on the play.
Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down.
At the 47.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
The throw here right sideline falls incomplete. So the pass goes out of bounds, but he was not outside of the tackle box when he threw that. He's got to be careful.
You and I both know if it's even close, they're going to give it to the quarterback. They don't want to throw that flag unnecessarily. So if you're just in the area, you're going to be okay.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Stroud. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 33. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts
1st down.
as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
1st down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And Stroud now to throw. On a slant, here's Collins. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
26-yard line.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. He hit his first. Now this from 43. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And a second field goal here gets him back within 11 now. It's 17-6. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
One more drive here for the Steeler offense in this first half. And with Rodgers behind center, you wonder if they'll take one shot at this.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he stopped immediately there. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now 2nd and 9. On the give, it's Warren.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
52 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side.
And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Pat Freiermuth.
62 yards. As his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up.
The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. Looking to put a drive together. Throwing to start the drive. Stroud. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz.
And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this.
Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll fake the jet sweep, and now Stroud to throw off play action.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Yeah, no question. He got to the QB late, CD, and that's going to get a flag every time.
Every single time. Because let's face it, the league is always going to have an emphasis on these calls. They want to take care of these quarterbacks who are in vulnerable positions when they're passing the football.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
On the give, here's Marks.
Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do, because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him. And when all you want to do is keep your drive going, quarterback sneak's a great call, isn't it? Pick it up, get a new set of downs.
And on 3rd down, usually you think 4th down quarterback sneak. There, though, it worked on 3rd.
Throw right side, taken in by Collins.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage one play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up 1st and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far in this drive. This offense on the march.
And that's going to be incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now.
Stroud looking to throw.
That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Christian Kirk from 6 yards away.
And the Texans get a bit closer.
Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
And now out come the Steelers. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
Pass is caught. It's Metcalf going across the field here.
16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
I tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
They toss it to Warren.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now it's Rodgers. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. And that sack, Charles, just looked like a case where a speedy defensive end is a little bit quicker than the offensive tackle.
Yeah, it makes it difficult for a tackle to determine what exactly to do. Do you do the kick slide and try and get back in the pocket and meet him there? Do you meet him on the line of scrimmage where they call a quick set? In any event, right now, he's having his troubles.
Open man, that's the tight end fire move.
And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
The Waitman down to punt as he sends it away.
And the punt will kick out of bounds, and it'll be spotted inside the 30-yard line. And here comes the Texans now.
A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but, Charles, they look up, and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is. And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
A shotgun snap to Stroud.
A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. First carry for Nick Chubb.
And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here.
That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line.
T.J. Watt, the all-pro, in there to take him down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Well, that flag puts them on their heels a little bit more defensively as the officials walk it upfield.
Yeah, and they can blame the officials all they want, but bottom line, it's their own fault because, to me, that was an avoidable call. Stay focused and avoid major mistakes like that.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass.
Now Stroud. They set up the screen. Marks.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston.
Woody Marks
from 13 yards out.
And the Texans have cut it back within a score.
There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Still enjoying the lead here in the 3rd quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive.
Looking to put a drive together. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he ran right through one tackle as he fights forward for a gain of 7.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33. A handoff for Warren.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
69 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 19 yards that time for number 19.
This is all about finding the open space in the middle of the field. How do you do that? One way is through play action. That's going to freeze those linebackers for just a split second, and sometimes that's all you need. They run a deep in route behind them, and it works to perfection.
He finds Austin complete. That'll give him 8 that time, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
They run behind center with Gainwell.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
10 more yards. That's enough.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on Monday Night Primetime. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Gainwell will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. Give him 2 yards on that one. Second and goal now.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. Throwing is Rodgers. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Calvin Austin, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers get an important score there to extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Boswell for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Makes the score Steelers 31, Texans 21.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Houston set to take over. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. Looking to put a drive together. They'll begin on the ground with Marks. And he'll get this to the 32.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Looking to throw on second. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Fortunate to get that football back because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity because it could have been lost there. Their chance to score points, but the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long. Back to throw. Stroud. Catch is made. It's Schultz on the out route. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. They've got a chance now to put this game away following that last defensive stop and punt. In motion left, that's Thielen. They'll start on the ground here on first down. They'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
2nd and 9.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's a 2nd down and 9.
Now a play fake. Rodgers.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. He'll find Metcalf. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
But he'll get this away into the icy winter air. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
And the Texans set to come onto the field.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
Looking to put a drive together. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Here's Stroud.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. On play action, it's Rodgers.
And it's nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Rodgers going to throw.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Well, so far on this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw, it's Rodgers.
That is caught.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame him?
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Here's Rodgers to throw.
catch is made by Metcalf. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 35. With that catch, he goes over 100 yards receiving on the night.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
That's complete to his tight end Freiermuth.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that'll bring up a second down in just a couple.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 12-yard line.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
That completes it again to Metcalf.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll make it second down.
Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
In motion goes the tight end. Now Rodgers.
That's to the pylon and incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Here's Rodgers. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers.
And the Steelers are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. And it's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack the defense and take them out of the game.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And not much happening on the return as we get this to about the 23.
And now out comes Houston.
This game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
I think this is what this game's become now. Just go deep, see if we can get something to go our way.
Yeah, not the most creative or most inventive play call there, but not much has worked for them throughout this game. They're almost at a loss about what to dial up.
And Stroud now to throw.
That's going to be caught by Kirk. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
He's got this complete to Stover, the tight end. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 37. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. A three-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it's second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest game we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Stroud. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston.
Touchdown.
Jaden Higgins from 3 yards out. And the Texans have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
So 2 scores down, time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. They're going to run this with a tight end. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Running left, it's Warren. Boy, shifts past him. And he is going to have a Steeler first down. All smiles on that sideline. That should be the one to do it.
And the Steelers,
They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
at the 37-yard line.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee.
So no shortage of offense in this game. A very clean game, too, Charles. Each side got its points, but they did so without committing a single turnover.
That's so true, and it certainly felt like NFL football at its finest, right? You talk about the highest level from both of these offenses. Neither one of them afraid of taking risks, and both of them aggressively pushing it downfield. I did like, Brandon, how smart they were about going about their business, though. They were high-flying, but they took care of the ball.
Yeah, they did. And just keeping it clean in a game like this with all these points, you don't see that very often, even at the highest level. Job well done by both sides.
And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.